Hello, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that most people never truly understand. Your life is shaped far more by your mindset and emotional state than by your circumstances. Two people can face the same situation, same problems, same pressure, same limitations, and one rises while the other collapses. The difference is not intelligence, not luck, not background. The difference is how they train their mind every single day. Your mind is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it weakens. If you train it intentionally, it becomes your greatest weapon. Every morning you wake up before the world touches you, before messages, news, and opinions rush in, you are already deciding who you will be that day. Most people let the world decide for them. They react. They complain. They live on autopilot. But the moment you learn to take control of your mindset, you stop reacting and you start leading. You begin to choose your emotional state instead of surrendering it to circumstances. Confidence, focus, gratitude, determination, these are not random feelings, they are trained states. Your beliefs are the foundation of everything you do. If you believe you are limited, you will live small. If you believe growth is possible, you will find a way. Beliefs act like filters. They determine what you see, what you ignore, and what you act on. That's why working on your mindset daily means questioning old beliefs that no longer serve you. Ask yourself, is this belief empowering me, or is it holding me back? The moment you change the belief, your behavior follows. And when behavior changes consistently, results must change. Focus is the next element most people underestimate. Whatever you focus on expands in your life. Focus on problems and problems multiply. Focus on solutions and suddenly opportunities appear. This doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing where to place your mental energy. Your brain is constantly answering the questions you ask it. If you ask, why is this happening to me? You'll get reasons to feel weak. If you ask, what can I learn from this? You'll get answers that make you stronger. Better questions create better focus, and better focus creates a better life. Then there's emotional control. This is where real power lies. Success does not belong to the smartest person in the room. It belongs to the one who can manage their emotions under pressure. When fear shows up, do you freeze or do you act? When anger appears, do you explode or do you redirect it into determination? Emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings. It's about using them as fuel instead of letting them use you. The moment you can shift your emotional state, you shift your actions, and the moment you shift your actions, your future changes direction. This is why daily mental training matters. Reading something that strengthens your thinking, visualizing success, practicing gratitude, controlling your inner dialogue, these are not small habits. They are life-shaping disciplines. Talk to yourself with intention because the voice you hear most often will shape who you become. Replace self-doubt with self-direction. Replace fear with curiosity. Replace excuses with responsibility. When you master your mindset and emotional state, everything else becomes possible. Skills grow faster. Discipline becomes easier. Purpose becomes clearer. You stop waiting for motivation and start creating momentum. And once you learn to control what happens inside you, nothing outside you can stop you. Now let's talk about something that separates those who stay stuck from those who keep moving forward, no matter what your commitment to learning and skill development. The moment you decide that you already know enough is the moment your growth stops. The world is changing too fast, opportunities are shifting too quickly, and challenges are becoming too complex for anyone to survive on old knowledge. That's why learning is not something you do once in life. It's something you must do every single day. Most people think education ends with school or a degree, but real education begins when you take responsibility for your own growth. The most successful individuals are not necessarily the most talented. They are the most curious. They ask better questions. They listen more than they speak. They observe how things work and constantly look for ways to improve. When you commit to daily learning, you're telling yourself that your future is worth investing in, even when no one is watching and no one is forcing you. Skills are the bridge between knowledge and results. You can read all the books in the world, but if you don't apply what you learn, nothing changes. That's why working on your skills every day matters so much. Communication, decision-making, leadership, problem-solving, these are not talents reserved for a few, they are trainable abilities. Every conversation is a chance to improve how you express yourself. Every challenge is an opportunity to sharpen your thinking. Every mistake, if you're willing to learn from it, becomes a powerful teacher. One of the biggest traps people fall into is waiting for the right time to learn or grow. But the right time is now. You don't need hours every day, you need consistency. 10 pages of reading, one idea from a podcast, one insight applied in real life. Small learning habits practiced daily compound over time just like money in a bank. What feels insignificant today becomes unstoppable momentum tomorrow. And let me tell you something important: learning without action is entertainment, not education. The purpose of learning is transformation. When you learn something new, ask yourself immediately, how can I use this? When you apply knowledge, even imperfectly, you build confidence. Confidence doesn't come from knowing, it comes from doing. The more you practice what you learn, the more capable you become. And the more capable you become, the bigger the challenges you're ready to face. Another key element is adaptability. The people who thrive are not those with the best plans, but those who can adjust when the plan changes. Daily learning keeps your mind flexible. It teaches you how to think, not just what to think. It prepares you to respond instead of panic when life throws something unexpected your way. In a fast-changing world, the ability to learn quickly is more valuable than any single skill. When you commit to learning every day, you send a powerful message to yourself. I am a work in progress, and that is my strength. You stop competing with others and start competing with who you were yesterday. Growth becomes part of your identity. And once learning becomes who you are, success becomes what you do naturally, consistently, and inevitably. Let's shift now to the area where dreams either become reality or slowly fade away: your discipline, your health, and your daily actions. Everyone has goals. Everyone has intentions. But the difference between people who talk about success and people who live it comes down to what they do every single day, especially when they don't feel like it. Discipline is not about punishment, it's about freedom. The more disciplined you are, the more control you have over your life. Most people wait for motivation before they take action. That's a mistake. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. Discipline is the ability to act in alignment with your goals, regardless of your mood. When you build this muscle, you stop negotiating with yourself. You stop asking, do I feel like it today? And start asking, what does my future require from me today? That single shift changes everything. Your body plays a bigger role in your success than most people realize. Energy is the foundation of performance. When your body is weak, tired, or neglected, your focus drops, your emotions become unstable, and your discipline disappears. That's why working on your physical health every day is not optional, it's essential. Movement, nutrition, rest, and breathing are not just health habits, they are performance strategies. When your energy is high, your standards rise automatically. Consistency is where real power lies. You don't need to do something extreme once in a while. You need to do something meaningful every day. Small actions repeated daily create extraordinary results over time. A few minutes of focused work, daily exercise, daily reflection, these habits seem simple, but they compound. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. Consistency turns ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. Time is your most valuable resource, yet it's the one most people waste without thinking. If you don't control your time, something else will. Working on your time management means deciding in advance what deserves your attention and what doesn't. It means learning to say no to distractions so you can say yes to your future. Time blocked for growth, learning, health, and focused work is not selfish, it's responsible. You cannot build a meaningful life in the leftover hours of your day. Daily action also builds identity. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a small one, you strengthen trust in yourself. That trust becomes confidence. When you break promises repeatedly, doubt grows. Success is not built in one big moment. It's built in thousands of small decisions that say, I do what I said I would do. That identity of being someone who follows through is more powerful than talent or intelligence. There will be days when you're tired, distracted, or overwhelmed. Those days matter the most, because discipline on easy days doesn't change your life. Discipline on hard days does. When you act despite discomfort, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. And once you know that, nothing can control you anymore. When you commit to daily discipline, protect your health, and take consistent action, momentum becomes unstoppable. And that momentum carries you exactly where you were meant to go. Now let's bring everything together, because all the mindset, learning, and discipline in the world mean very little if you don't know why you're doing it. This is where character, purpose, and contribution come in. Achievement alone will never fulfill you. You can reach goals, earn money, gain recognition, and still feel empty. Fulfillment comes when who you are becoming aligns with how you are living, and when your success is connected to something bigger than yourself. Character is what you do when no one is watching. It's the standards you live by, not the image you project. Working on your character every day means choosing integrity over convenience, responsibility over excuses, and growth over comfort. Life will test you. There will be moments when cutting corners feels easier, when giving up feels justified, when blaming others feels tempting. In those moments, your character decides your future. Strong character creates trust, and trust creates lasting success. Purpose gives direction to everything you do. Without purpose, discipline feels heavy and learning feels pointless. With purpose, effort becomes meaningful. Purpose doesn't always begin as a clear vision. Sometimes it starts as a simple question: how can I be useful? When you focus on contribution instead of comparison, your path becomes clearer. You stop chasing validation and start building value. And the more value you create, the more opportunities naturally come your way. Contribution is the highest form of success. Human beings are wired not just to achieve, but to give. When you help others grow, you grow. When you lift others, you rise. This doesn't mean sacrificing yourself. It means using what you learn, what you earn, and who you become to make a difference. Whether it's through teaching, leading, supporting, or inspiring, contribution turns success into significance. Gratitude plays a powerful role here. When you work on gratitude daily, you shift from scarcity to abundance. You stop focusing on what's missing and start appreciating what's already working. Gratitude strengthens your emotional state, improves relationships, and keeps your ego in check. It reminds you that progress matters more than perfection and that every step forward is worth acknowledging. Living with purpose also changes how you handle challenges. Problems stop feeling like punishments and start feeling like training. You realize that obstacles are not in your way, they are shaping you. Each challenge builds strength, wisdom, and compassion. When you connect your struggles to a meaningful purpose, quitting is no longer an option because what you're building matters. At the end of the day, the question is not just what you achieved, but who you became in the process. Did you grow stronger? Did you become more disciplined, more skilled, more generous, more aware? A life well lived is not measured by titles or possessions, but by impact, integrity, and growth. When you work daily on your character, live with purpose, and commit to contribution, success stops being a destination and becomes a way of life.